It was November 24th, 2013, and this took place in Columbus, Mississippi. He said it specifically happened at the Highway 50 slough off the Tom Bigby River. And he said it was a cold morning, about 4:30 in the morning, and he was going to put decoys out. But the water was frozen. So he had to go in there and, break up the ice so he could get his decoys out there. And he said it was a beautiful, clear, starry morning. And he said he was just looking up at the sky, trying to take in the views for like 10 or 15 minutes. And then he saw these 2 stars. He said it looked like they were stars, but then he noticed that they were like moving weird. And not just moving, but like moving in sequence together, like choreographed, something strange like that. And he said he didn't want to say anything. He was out there hunting with like 4 or 5 other guys. But he said he just kept watching it. And he said he watched it for like 20 minutes. And then finally he went to his buddy. He's like, come here. Like, look up there. Do you see that?
I don't want to.
And he said, the guy's looking and he's like, what is that? And he's like, I don't know, but I've been watching it for like 20 or 30 minutes. He said they just start looking at it and he can tell that the lights are getting closer. Like whatever it is way up there, it's coming. And he's like, his buddy's like, dude, I think that's getting closer. And he said it just keeps descending and descending upon him. Now, no noise, no nothing. And as it gets closer, he can see that the lights aren't 2 stars, but it's like the ends, one end of the ship, he calls it. Not a saucer. He said this thing was a ship.
Like you can see a physical connection between the lights, maybe.
Yeah, like it's on either end. He said it was like the size of a cruise ship. And he said this thing's just descending upon him. And now, of course, all the guys are seeing it. And he said one of the guys is like, let's shoot it.
Typical Mississippi duck hunter. Hey, look at that, boys. You think we can bring it down?
Everybody on 3. Take your plugs out. On 3. You ready?
Hey, Bobby, you got a 3.5 inch in your blind bag?
Yeah, but imagine you're some interstellar space traveler, and the first thing we do is let's shoot at it.
Right? They've traveled light years to get here.
It's no wonder nobody wants to visit here, right? I mean, it's like that's our first instinct.
Like these guys out in the country will be cool to talk to. We're taking fire.
But he said it kept getting closer. Now all 5 guys are watching it. And he said it got to about 150, 200 yards away. It's about as close as it got. And he said it was just hovering over the water. And he said it was like cloaked, but you could still see that something was there. Like you could see the 90-degree angles. He said you could even see what looked like hangar doors, like for loading and unloading. And he said it was completely silent. And they watched it, he said, until the sun started to break. And then it just quietly rose and ascended back into the atmosphere until they couldn't see it anymore. And he's like, what was it doing here? And he said there was 2 things that they came up. He said, one, maybe it was descending upon the river because they needed water for whatever reason. Mm-hmm. And 2, he said that there's Columbus Air Force Base is only like a few miles away. So maybe it was observing the military base.